I'm with the Leesburg, Virginia Police Department. I've been there going on 16 years.
Do you enjoy what you do?
I do. It's changed over time. I think the abilities that we have in law enforcement are challenged by society and by current events. It seems that when I started, it was a lot easier to help people than it is today.
Was there a specific defining moment, Stephan, that made you want to become a police officer?
In the early 90s, I had witnessed a horrific accident where several children got killed. I knew nothing about basic medical care treatment, and I just felt completely helpless, that helpless feeling that you can't do anything. And I was just as dazed and confused as everybody else, but I just felt so helpless just standing there thinking, you know, there's got to be something I can do. So I joined the local volunteer fire department, and they put me through EMT school, and then I put myself through paramedic school. Looking back, there was nothing I could have done that day, even if I'd have been a physician. There was just absolutely nothing that could have been done. But that gave me the passion to want to help others in times when they weren't in a good place. When I was in the military, one of my first duty stations was Beirut, Lebanon in '83 when they had the bombing. And after the bombing, it was the same kind of feeling. Just the helplessness of not knowing what to do and what you should do, and could you really help anybody? And that's a terrible feeling, to just feel so helpless and useless.
So how did you transition from the medical to the...
I couldn't get a job.
Wow.
Back in the 90s, times were different. They were looking for a lot different type of person. Law enforcement was never really on my radar. I guess when I couldn't become a fireman or a paramedic, that was another parallel that was somewhat in the same type of line of work of helping others, just in a different capacity.
What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about who you are and what you guys do?
I think if you look at some of the events that have happened with Rodney King, Ferguson, I think law enforcement in general has gotten a black eye, because I think a lot of people perceive that every police officer is just like that. But I think the majority of people that get into law enforcement truly want to help and do the right things.
How would you like to have the public see the police force? How would police officers like to be seen or feel they should be seen?
I'm just like you. I get dressed in the morning, I have problems, I have bills, I have issue, I have stress. We're just regular people, and this is just what we do for a living.
What about the times where police officers come and help people who are in danger, for example? Do you have people that come and express their gratitude for the work that you guys do and the contribution that you've made toward them?
A lot of times, and especially in Loudoun County, we get more support, I think, than a lot of other places. We have very few negative encounters with people, and most people are truly happy and genuinely pleased with the services that we provide.
What do you think is the biggest challenging part of your work?
I'm just trying to help people in general. It's difficult sometimes when people are victims of crimes, and we have so many different entities as far as with us, the judicial system. I think a lot of times people fall through the cracks. Sometimes there's that perception that we must have done something totally egregious with this investigation that we weren't able to get it brought to the judicial system, which is not the case.
There's some really hot topics, with regards to police officers in general, and it's not just Loudoun County, it's all over the United States. How does the police officers feel about what has happened and what the perception is and how it should be?
I can't speak for anybody else. For me, I think it's sad. I would like to see people come back together again, being more friendly, neighborly, helping one another. I remember as a little kid, my dad used to say that, everybody can give something. If it's this much, that's all you can give, then you give that much. But everybody can contribute something. And if everybody just puts a little bit in there, then the pot gets full.
What do you think is one or some of the biggest contributions that you have made as a police officer?
Just a few individuals that I've actually helped change their lives, help them, I guess, believe in themselves and kind of caught themselves before they went down the wrong road or any further down the wrong road. Everything I would try to do for people is to help them change in a positive way and be better people. So there was mother and daughter that were crossing the road in front of the police station in a crosswalk, and a vehicle stopped for them because they saw that they were in the crosswalk, and that car got rear-ended by another car and pushed the first car over and struck the two ladies, and one of the mother was trapped underneath the car.
Right in front of the police station.
Right in front of the police station.
Thank God.
And I was just coming out of the back gate. There was another officer that was in the front parking lot, and he was asking for assistance. And I mean, matter of probably 30 seconds, I was there, and the woman was, the tire had actually run over the woman. She was under the car, and she wasn't breathing. She didn't have a pulse. So I got some of the bystanders, and 5, 6, maybe 7 guys just out of nowhere just appeared, and they just lifted up the whole side of the car enough that I could pull her out from under the car.
That's a beautiful example of the
Wow.
public working with the police. I love that story. I love it.
Stephen, I wanted to know, who do you admire?
I think I look up to probably a lot of my peers and general public that are just struggling day to day in life, and they still wake up and smile and they keep doing what they have to do. And those are the people that really, I would have to say I have to look up to, because they have every reason to be so down and out and be so negative. But yet so many people choose to just one step from the other. As humans, we have that ability to quickly lose touch with the reality. And when things are good, when we're on a roll, things are good. But yet, I think we're all a step away from being unemployed. We're all a step away from being down to our last dollar, having a can of beans and a bag of rice left in the pantry. I've seen so many people go kind of from the rags to riches in a short amount of time. That's kind of what helps keep me humble and appreciate and thankful for what I have.
That answers actually the next question that I wanted to ask. You know, what are you most grateful for?
Life, my health, people I've got to meet, the opportunities I've got to encounter. Looking back, I don't know if I'd really do anything different with my life. I had great parents who gave me the world, but they taught me a lot of valuable lessons. You know, there's nothing free in life. You have to work for what you want, you work hard, and you get rewarded. I think everything happens for a reason and a purpose. I think when you're born, you're kind of mapped out with kind of how your life's going to play out and the things that are going to happen. And I think that plan is scripted both positive and negatively. If I run into somebody like yourself that's a positive person, I'll probably go in a positive direction. Versus if I meet somebody who is negative and not a good person, I might easily go down that path as well. And I think, you know, we have that choice in life to either do the right things and make better choices, or we have the opportunity to go down the wrong road and make poor choices.
What advice, Stephen, would you have to some young kid out there who's watching this and saying, you know, I want to become a police officer one day?
Follow your dreams and your passion. I don't think there's anything that I set my mind to or what I wanted to do or become that I haven't been able to do. Dreams or passion. Passion or dreams. If you don't chase them, you'll never know. Knowledge is power. I was not a good student in school. I struggled in school. It wasn't until after I got out of school and started working that my passion to learn and want to grow really took off. I just finally finished my degree after 40 years last October.
I think Frederick County, Maryland, and I know Montgomery County, Maryland, have like police explorer programs.
We have
for
the same
youth.
programs. We have an explorer program.
So there is something that they could get into to kind of test the waters as
Absolutely.
youth.
We're trying to spark the interest in these young individuals to see if this might be a possible career for them. And this gives them an opportunity to kind of see what police life is all about. We have one, I think, that's getting ready to go to the academy this July. That was an explorer who's now going to pursue law enforcement with us.
What are some of the growing departments for the Leesburg Police? Like, I know they've enhanced their K-9 unit.
You have crime scene technicians that can actually go out and take fingerprints, collect evidence, process things. The Department of Forensics and Science, they test blood for alcohol, narcotics. They do DNA. They can check rifling. For those that are interested in science and chemistry, that's a great career to get into there.
And you do have detectives.
We do. We have general assignment detectives. We have some that specialize in white collar crime. We used to have people on a gang task force. We also have like street gangs where they go out and they deal with gang issues and narcotics.
You guys use my conference room for like negotiators,
hostage
negotiations.
We do have our own tactical team. We have our own public information officer. We have one person just dedicated to our property room who tracks the chain of evidence. We have school resource officers. We have a traffic division, which I'm part of. And then we have 4 patrol teams. And we have, I don't know, 2 or 3 different drone units. We're trying to innovate technology with that to where we can use that on like accident reconstruction, so we can map out areas, so we can minimize the delays we have in traffic and open up the road quickly. We also use that for people who have memory issues and tend to have tendency to wander.
Stefan, is there anything that you would want to share with the general public about what you do and what their perceptions are, or anything in that regard? Anything that you would like to share?
I want to say that I'm truly blessed to be able to serve the people and visitors of Loudoun County and to come to the town of Leesburg. There are very few bad experiences that I've had with people. For the most part, people are very open and receptive and embrace what we do and support us 100%. I can tell you there's probably not a day that goes by that I don't stop to get coffee or grab lunch, where I have children, small children, teenagers, young adults, elderly, veterans. Thank you for what I do. Sometimes it's hard to accept that because I don't call my plumber up and say, hey, I really appreciate you coming to unclog the drain the other day, or I don't call my tax man and say, hey, I really appreciate you working on my taxes this year and I didn't have to send that much to the government. I just sometimes I get a little embarrassed by it. I mean, I appreciate that they appreciate me.
Well, your tax man and your plumber don't put their life on the line every day for you. That's the difference.
This is true.
That's the difference. That's why people respond that way.
Thank you, Stefan. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor to speak with you, sir.
And you too, my friend.
Thank you for everything that you
And
do.
thanks to the general public. And if you ever see me out and about, come up and say hi. I don't bite. We can chat. We can have a cup of coffee. We can break bread. I'm just a regular person, just like everybody else is out there. Come see me and say hey.